Hey, I'm getting used to that. So, you know, Morgantown is a strange place. And we've talked about, recruiting. We talked about the Big 12. Let's talk a little bit about this game coming up against Oklahoma State.
Well, it's a big game for both programs, but who's it a bigger game for? Is it a bigger game for Oklahoma State? Is it a bigger game for West Virginia? I think it's a big game for both of them, but guess what? Oklahoma State coming off a very disappointing loss. God, I wish I could have beat Kansas State last week. I would feel so much better about us going into Stillwater. Them boys would have been like, oh, good, after Kansas State and that hard victory, and we got that victory. We got West Virginia coming into our house, and then we get a bye week. And I think the team would just be like, you know, overlooking us a little bit. And you wouldn't have to overlook us even much for us to beat you. It's not that there's that much of a gap between West Virginia and Oklahoma State. It's just that if a couple of players on the team would overlook West Virginia and think, yeah, well, I just want to get to my bye week. That's all it would take for West Virginia to beat Oklahoma State. Now I think every player is going to be focused after that loss, and they're going to want to go into the bye week with a win. So this could be a little bit tougher game for West Virginia than we originally thought. Now I have yet to give my prediction, and I have been saying all along that Oklahoma State might be the better team here. And I'm looking at Oklahoma State and thinking, okay, Oklahoma State could probably beat West Virginia, but West Virginia can seriously upset Oklahoma State. So here's my pick on this game, guys. Here's what I think. I truly believe that Kansas State's going to beat Oklahoma State twice. And what I mean by that is I think they're going to be hungover from their victory or from their loss over Kansas State. They're going to come into this game and start thinking, okay, God, we get a bye week. We're going to regroup. We get to think about things. We get to think back online. We just got to win this game. But at the same time, they're like in a medium spot. They're not in that fired up level. They're not in that downgrading level. So I think it'll be a tough game for West Virginia. But I really believe West Virginia is going to pull out a victory in Stillwater. Still yet, even right now, I think West Virginia is going to pull out a victory in Stillwater. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring. I really don't believe there will be a lot of scoring in this game. I think the final score is going to be something like 21-20, 21-17, 24-21, somewhere in that area. So that's what I'm thinking. And I think West Virginia pulls out a victory in Stillwater. You're muted, Shane.
I'm picking up what you're putting down because I'm the same spot. 2 weeks ago, I thought Oklahoma State's going to give West Virginia their lunch. Last week, Oklahoma looked mortal, and West Virginia looked pretty good at times. Flashes, not top 25 team, but flashes that the offense could be top 25. If the defense can get a turnover, West Virginia's going to win. It's going to come down to a game of field possession and position, and also whoever wins the turnover battle. And everybody says that, but it's actually going to happen. I think it's going to be like 28 to like 21. And last week I picked this score to the T. I hope I'm right this week. I hope West Virginia wins by a touchdown. And guys, this is going to be big going into the Iowa State game. So we're going to talk about the next three games, just an overview. We're not going to get into detail, but just a quick what if. So my what if, Joey, I'll go first. West Virginia beats Oklahoma State. Then they play at home under the lights. It's like West Virginia 2.0. They got some wins under their belt. They got they got some new gear. Iowa State is no slouch. They're going to be coming to Morgantown. That will be critical. If West Virginia couldn't beat Iowa State, it's very, very likely. I think they have a very good chance of going to the championship for the Big 12. Your thoughts there?
Um, yeah. So if you look at West Virginia's schedule before and after Iowa State, you would say Iowa State's definitely like a trap game. If you looked at it like West Virginia was really really good, and I think West Virginia is really really good. I think their team's just not shown that yet, but I think they're a pretty good team. So the problem is with the Iowa State game, that's not a trap game for Iowa State. Excuse me,
No.
because before that game, they're playing Baylor this week. After that game, they're playing UCF. If you're Iowa State and you're looking at Baylor, West Virginia, UCF, okay, which one's going to give us the most problems? Definitely West Virginia, and that's what they're thinking. So yeah, they're going to come into Morgantown. They'll be fired up and ready to go. So be ready for that one. That is going to be a big game, and especially if we can get by Oklahoma State, that's going to be a huge matchup, and it's a night kickoff. It's a primetime kickoff pretty much for that game, and we've got our black uniforms that Brian Joswiak absolutely fell in love with, and so I
Brian,
love
if
you,
you're
Brian
watching,
Joswiak.
I know you
If
hate
you
it.
ever seen that episode, I don't remember what it was called, but Brian Joswiak gives West Virginia University hell for giving them getting them
I
black
was
uniforms.
I was so excited, and I said, Brian, what do you think? He's like, they suck.
Yeah, I want the traditional golden blue. Yeah, and so but hey, we're sporting a new uniform. We're going to be fired up. We're going to be excited. We need a good crowd in Morgantown for that game. It's blackout, very black. Everything you've got black. Just be careful when you're walking out there at night and you're walking down the street wearing all black. Make sure you put a reflector or something on you so the cars can see you, or have something to let cars know they can see you. Because Morgantown down the strip in certain places can be pretty dark. So if you're going to cross the street and you're wearing all black, make sure that yeah, God, I'm sure about that now. But
Yeah,
make
you
sure
look like
you
a lump
can,
of coal. But
yeah, make sure that you can let somebody know. But anyway, I am looking forward to that game. I really am. That'll be great, and we're going to talk more about that next week, I'm sure.
next
Because
week, absolutely,
look,
but
we got
but
this week. This week is we can't worry about the next game, the
yeah,
Iowa State game. We got to worry about this game.
but the next, if these two games, and I know one game rolls into the other, but just if they split one of these two games, if they beat Oklahoma State, lose to Iowa State, or if they lose to Oklahoma State and beat Iowa State, they're still in a very good position because they have the tiebreaker to Oklahoma State, which still is a fantastic team. Utah's lost. I mean,
Yeah.
what the hell? In 2 weeks, we went from the sky is falling to, oh my gosh, there's a life raft,
Well,
and
it's not. It's a life raft so long as the team lets it be a life raft, right? So they've got two games coming up right here in a row that are both very tough games, and all they got to do is split them to be in like a 4-way tie for the Big 12 conference or second place, right after BYU and after Iowa State, because they're both undefeated in the conference. But you could be in a like if you could split the next two games, it doesn't matter if we lose this week and win the next, or win this week and lose the next. If we can win both of them, be even better. But let's say we split them. Well, we're still in we're in this big tie for second place in the Big 12, so it's still wide open. So yeah, we've got to split the next two games at least, and really I want to win them both. I want to win them both. I'm gonna be greedy right here. So give me both of them. I want to beat Oklahoma State. I want to beat Iowa State in a blackout in Morgantown, West Virginia, and anything short of that, I might be a little pissed off. Just to let you know.
I think Garrett Green shaked off all those cobwebs and nerves he had. The offense seems to be clicking along a little bit better. The injury bug. I haven't heard anything about Aubrey Burks, but yeah, I agree. West Virginia's going to take care of business.